Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely Stream Deck. For more information about the Stream Deck, the link is in the description below. Hello everybody and welcome along once again to Apex Online Racing. This is Season 20 of Xbox One F1 and we're at round number 7 in Monte Carlo for the Monaco Grand Prix. It's been held since 1929 and it's widely considered to be one of the most important prestigious races in motorsport. It's one of the Triple Crown races which a lot of drivers want to win, along with Le Mans and the Indy 500. It's also known for its glitz, glamour and unforgiving walls. And it's because of the difficulty in completing a lap here, that's why everybody wants to win too. Ayrton Senna has won the most around this circuit, making him the king of Monaco with 6 wins and 4 poles for his name, including his amazing and iconic lap in 1988. Let's have a look at the track. Monaco is 3.3 kilometers long with 19 turns, 7 to the left and 12 to the right, with only one DRS straight towards the start-finish straight. This is going to make it a bit more challenging for the drivers, as track extending and for the most part corner cutting isn't an option here, as unforgiving barriers lay on the outside of this street circuit from start to finish. Overtaking is almost impossible, with even the best opportunities often limited to dives up the inside, which usually end up in a collision, so we have to wait and see what they do. So they could be seeing a lot of drivers taking some risks tonight. Now we have 3 compounded tyres used for today's race, which have got the highest lot of the compounds in the Pirelli ranges, the C5s, which is the softs, the C4s, which is the mediums, and the hards, which is the C3s. Tyre deck is not too bad around here either, with mediums being 6/10 slower than the softs, but the hards are whopping 1.8 seconds slower than the softs. So you'll probably only want to be touching the hards if you got damage. So we are about to get started with this race then. So we got 14 drivers here today, which is pretty good from Xbox standards anyway. So that is brilliant. So I'm just getting all the drivers into view. So Monaco could be known for changeable conditions, but it hardly ever rains in Xbox One F1. The last time it was here in Monaco, as someone had just hit the wall, as Callum has just hit the wall there going through the swimming pool section, and he's almost did a half spin there, which was very unfortunate there. But yeah, the last time it was here, I was commentating around it with Justin, and it was nice and sunny, and it proved to be quite interesting. There were some elements where there was a bit of a processional race, but hopefully I am going to predict there's going to be a much better race here today. So fingers crossed about that one. So I'm trying to find someone on board a lap that we can take on board with in a second before we go on to the championship standings, which Bobbers is still leading, by the way, with 97 points. So here we go then. Let's take it on board a lap around this famous Monte Carlo circuit in Monaco. Let's go on board with the Mercedes of Shazoo Humperdinck as he goes towards the start-finish straight. This is a very long straight here, the only DRS straight on the circuit coming up. As you head towards turn 1, it's an easy pass. You need to be well alongside to get a chance here, and he's just invalidated in turn 1, which is a really common place to overtake. So we're going to go on board with someone else, as let's see if he doesn't invalidate, which he doesn't, which is good. So turn 2 is an easy flat out in the modern cars, but don't take your eye off the circuit, because otherwise you could lose it in the barrier and it could be a damaged front wing. Turn 4 and then into turn 5 while dabbing on the brakes down into 3rd gear. And now you're going to head towards the Mirabel section, which we might see a lot of queues into the first few laps if people don't get it right. Just past that hairpin. Now, we're going into the Nouvelle Chicane now, the tunnel, as Humperdinck moves out of the way for Alfio, which is still on his lap. Just look at the hear the sound around this tunnel. This is a common place to overtake around here, just at the end of that. And now we're going to head towards turn 12, which is to back, you're going to be heading towards 5th gear around here. The only place you're going to end up here is the wall. So basically aim towards the middle if you can. Go to that left apex. And now be past swimming wall section into Raskas and Anthony Notes in turn 17 to 19. And now you're going to be heading towards the final corner. And let's see what lap time he is going to be doing. And it is a 1 minute 12.892. Now, expect times to be around about 108 potentially around here, as Tom has already gone and set a 109.2. So it's a pretty good benchmark lap at the moment. Let's see how our championship leader is doing as he goes past turn 2 and 3. I think he's doing all right so far, and due to the fact that he's quite short, one of the shortest on the calendar, you know, that is why the softs don't last very long, and due to the fact that there is less straights around here, that's probably why as well. And the softs could last about 12 to 13 laps, but the mediums could last around 29 laps. So ideally, that is ideal. You could do a soft to medium strategy around here quite easy. So that's why a majority of people are on the soft. I've got an inkling there are a few people on the medium just to get a feel for it. I don't think anyone would be on the mediums if it was a wet start to the race. So I am predicting that it's going to be a dry race. So we have got Roberts now about to go through Raskas. Oh, he's got hit a bit of end plate. That is not good for him as championship leader. But that might not compromise him as much as I thought he would. So he comes across the line. Let's see what lap time he's going to do. It is going to be a 109.8. So it would have, if he didn't make that mistake going into swimming pool into Raskas, it would have been enough for pole position, I think. But it doesn't matter. He's still got a few more tyres to go with. Hawk's in the ApexOnlineRacing this week, and he hasn't set a lap yet. Neither has LGS. And John Papp has retired from the session. I think he wasn't happy with his lap, or he was just a little bit, you know, probably just binned it. Maybe he might have binned it, I'm not entirely sure. But Hawk comes across the line, and he comes across the line in 7th position. Let us know who you think is going to be getting pole position here today. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. We got Cesala, who is new to the tier this week, as well as Callum as well. So welcome aboard to these two. They just won a race Monaco, which is good news. And don't forget, next week, I believe, we'll be on a break week. So that is something to watch out for, as Cesala goes with a 1:12.209 for his out lap, and he's about to start his second lap. Everybody else is in the pit lane. So whilst we're on with a little bit of a quiet moment on the circuit, let's just go through the championship standings for you guys. So the championship standings are as follows. So let me just scroll up a little bit. There we go. There's the puppy. So Bobbitts is leading with 97 points, with Humperdinck in second with 83 points. So the gap between the top two quite close. And then we got AMS Tom in pole position, who is third in the standings at the moment with 69 points. Fourth place is Scory Raw, also known as Pat. I've forgotten her gaming tab, but she's on 46 points. She can't make it tonight though. Alfio in 5th place with 42 points. 6th place is Jonah with 41 points, sorry. 7th place is Contegu with 40 points. 8th place is LGS with 38 points. 9th place is King Continue with 36 points. And we got Amaze in 10th place. We got 11th place. We've got one of the Ferraris, which I need to remember who it is. I think it's No, it's not Casey. It's the other one who's not here tonight. 12th place is we got Jakey B, who is not here tonight. Jam Pancakes is not here tonight either. He's in 13th place. 14th is John Pat with 10 points. 15th place is GC with 7 points. And we got Casey, who got his first points last week. He spoke to me in DMs earlier on today, and he was really, really happy about his performance. And it was great to see his teammate also get good results as well, which will give them a good rundown in the Constructors' Championship as well, because the Constructors is just as important as the drivers. So that's why quite a few people will be working together as a team. That is why Humperdinck and Jam Pancakes did very well last season in the Constructors, because they scored quite consistently. And it's going to get to a stage where consistency will become really, really key. And if you don't have as good results at the start of the season, it will be really hard to come back up. We've seen in real life the Mercedes do really well at the start of the season, and sometimes in the middle of the season, but towards the end they start to tail off as they usually stop development in the car then. As there was some rumours on the news that they've stopped development quite early, so that's why a few of the cars improved, but still Mercedes are quite good in real life. I wonder if we'll see the same in this Xbox One F1 tier in AOR. We'll have to wait and see. As King Kong comes across the line with a 108.8. Now, I did say that we could go into the 108. We could see a 107 maybe. You never know. It is hard to tell from this tier, but we probably will see a few more people making mistakes. The next track we will go to in a couple of weeks' time is Baku, and that is another street circuit and a half. I mean, I would say Baku's a lot harder than Monaco and less fun. I think majority of drivers, when I spoke to them, said that they prefer Monaco because it's more thrilling and challenging. And I've got to agree. Monaco with a setup is really good when I've driven around here. Monaco without a setup, it's just really hard, and you just got to find the right balance. So we're probably going to tell who's got a setup and who hasn't. So something to watch out for. So the gap between the top two, if I just get the gap up on my screen, is around about 4 tenths now. So not as close as we would have thought, but expect to be even closer as we get into the last few minutes of the session. LGS, one of the early two drivers, yet to set a lap time that can still set a lap time as he goes past the Nouvelle Chicane. It's lucky that I know French, since I know how to pronounce these names correctly. He takes it quite nicely, actually. Not many mistakes, and he doesn't hit the wall there. And this is a section where we saw a traffic jam last year in real life. Hopefully we won't see the same here tonight. LGS comes across the line now. And it is a 110.4, which puts him in the top 10 for now, just in that bubble. And I wonder what it would have been like if it was full qualifying session. What did you guys think of the F1 esports that went on? It was incredible, absolutely incredible. So hopefully these guys can show us what they're made of. We may see a few of these guys qualify for F1 esports on the Xbox platform. It'll be great to see who does that. There's a few more weeks until it closes. I believe it's around Italy as well. We've got Callum G on a lap now. Now, he was at AOR Champions Pass. I think it was F3 last season or F4. I can't remember. But he is an AOR champion. It's going to take a while, I think, to find his feet in Tier 1. But you never know. It's just for a bit of fun. And due to the fact that it is season break next week, he could just get a little bit more practice in a Baku until he finds his feet again. Actually, I think it's 2 weeks, I think. Let me just have a look. No, but it's not. It's just a week break. I thought it was 2 weeks, but it's a week break. So, yeah. As almost a little bit of a slide there from Callum G. You can see a really good helicopter shot there. And the Williams car not doing too good in real life, but we know the Williams car does a lot better in these games. So, Callum G, can he get off the bottom spot at the moment? He goes 5th place. That's pretty good. It's a 109.394, just around 7 thousandths slower than Jonah in 4th. Jonah doing quite well as well, actually, as he just cut the corner. Hopefully he was not on a lap then. I don't think he wasn't, because his ERS was turned all the way down, so that's all right. I'm guessing he just wants to go into the pits quickly so he can set one final lap. That's why a majority of people are in the pits. Daegu, I believe, is about to go in the pits too as well, which he does. Alfio's on his outlap, though. He's cutting it fine if he wants to set one final lap, because the track is going to be its best with about 2 minutes, 1 minute to go. So, and you don't want to be on used soft tyres for so long. Ideally, you want to be on one lap tyres, not 2 or 3. So, Alfio has got his work cut out. So he's got to keep it clean. If he doesn't know, at least he'll have time to go into the pits and get one final lap in. And the question is, what sort of selection have they made when they did the tyre selection? Because obviously there's balanced, softer and harder. I would say around Monaco, I would say balanced, I think. Yeah, balanced would be the best option. But I know some people may take less of a risk and go for harder, but I don't think you'll be using the hards at all around it, except if people get damaged or get involved in an incident or something like that, as I was discussing earlier. King Kong goes poor pole again with a 108.8. So I don't think, but the way that the times are coming up, I think it's not going to be in the 107s, but definitely into the top 108s. I think we will see definitely tonight. As King Kong has got to get into the pits very quickly. And Daegu's just gone out on his outlap as well. He's got a bit of clear air though, luckily. He should have time for, I think, about 1 or 2 more laps as well. Let me know if any of your favourites is scoring well here tonight. We'll have to wait and see, of course. Now, this was also a track where we saw last year Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen have a fantastic battle around the street circuit of Monaco. And Lewis Hamilton was on much older mediums compared to Max Verstappen's hards. And we all questioned when we were watching it, how on earth did Lewis Hamilton make it to the end with those older mediums? But he absolutely did. And he did it well. So we could see Daegu's going to have the benefit of this cleaner air, but he's going to have people coming out of the pit lane really soon. So he's got to be careful that he doesn't get caught out in this traffic. Casey, I don't think he was meant to go on 3-lap-old mediums. Because if he gets higher than temps, then he has to start the race on them. And he's going to be on the same boat, I think, as the soft runners. So I wonder if he's realised that mistake. I don't think he has. Or maybe he just didn't have enough left, or he may have chosen the harder option. We'll have to wait and see. But Casey has definitely got his work cut out here towards the end of this qualifying session. 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock now. Everybody, apart from King Kong, is going on an outlap. I think King Kong will just about make it. I think it's going to be tough, I think, for him. I'm not entirely sure, but we know an outlap around Monaco is a lot slower compared to a flyer lap. Around about, say, 1 minute 20, 1 minute 30. So it's going to be close. It's going to be like a Monza or Silverstone situation where he may have run out of time. That was the same situation I found, I think, in my team and a few league races around Silverstone. I just did not time it right to get another lap in. And I think King Kong is going to try and do quite a few corner extending. There's not many corners to track extend around here, so he's going to find it a little bit more difficult. Humperdinck's on a lap, though. Well, he was, but I think he got invalidated, so he has to go out again with 30 seconds left to go. He's going to cut it fine as well. Tom is about to start his flyer. Jonah's about to start his flyer as well. We got Callum G going towards the tunnel now as he goes through the Nouvelle chicane. We're going to see who's going to come across the final corner. We've got a mate about who's just going to come, I think, with seconds to spare. We've got Hawk going to do the same thing. Yep, he should be fine as well. Humperdinck as well. And we've got the Williams car. Who's that? The Williams car about to cross the line? No, but it's not, as Callum G has retired. So the checker flag has dropped, ladies and gentlemen, and that is not how you want to end your qualifying session, as Cesaro is now out of the session. So we've got LGS about to finish off his lap. Where could he finish in qualifying? P8 for him. Next, we've got the Haas car of, I'm trying to think of Daegu. There we go, as he goes into the pit lane. What a poor shame for him, but he's 7 seconds off the pace. I think he was struggling a little bit in qualifying, but he'll be starting at the back of the grid. Then we've got a few of the Ferraris and the Alphas. Casey goes into the pits. Alfio has invalidated his lap time, so he's not going to set a good lap time here today. Jonah can't improve. What about Tom? Tom has been pole a few times before this season. Can he get it again? Nope, he doesn't. He does not improve on his lap time. What about Humperdinck? He comes across the line now. Hawk improves to P2, but what about Humperdinck? He stays fourth, but he's 1/10 quicker than his previous best. So, on pole position here today is Kin Continue. There was one time he got pole a few races ago. I think it was Vietnam, or I can't remember which one it was, but he didn't manage to convert to a win. There was a few times where some of these pole guys didn't convert to a win. Will we see that today? We'll have to wait and see. We keep asking each other every week about that. So, we got pole, 1/10 of a second clear of Hawk. Goes King continue. We got Tom in third, Humperdinck in fourth, Jonah in fifth, Callum G in sixth, Amazed in seventh, LGS in eighth, Roberts in ninth. Then we got Alfio in 10th, Casey in 11th, Cesala 12th, Daegu in 13th. John Papp did not set a lap time. And we just have 14 drivers, so I don't have to scroll tonight. So that is very, very good. That's good news, isn't it? As we are about to kickstart the racing. I believe it's 39 laps. Yes, it is 39 laps, as I got it on my thing. But before we go into the formation lap, let's have a look at this classic car. Just look at the sound of this. One of the McLaren cars, the one where Ayrton Senna has won quite a few Monaco races. And it looks pretty good and decent, I've got to say, as well as it makes its way around. It was at the exhibition race showing earlier on as well. The one race I remember from Ayrton Senna around here was Monaco in '93, where we had a really good battle with Alan Prost. And it was just so spectacular to see. And the McLarens have done really well in Monaco in the past, being one of the most successful constructors here in Monaco, as well as Williams, of course. And there was a one-time race winner around Monaco, 1996. Olivier Panis won around here, and there was only around about 6 finishes as well. There was quite a lot of chaos as well. Damon Hill had engine troubles in the tunnel, which allowed Panis to take the win. But that was Panis' only win. And who was the last French man to take the win? And that is his only win so far. That was Pierre Gasly in Monza this year. So I wonder if Pierre Gasly could win in Monaco. We'll have to find out. But we're about to get started with the race, as it's looking in our commentary box window quite overcast. So that should be interesting for the drivers. And we are about to get started then. So here we go, as we are about to get underway. So let me just get the tyre data up, as I always keep forgetting what button it is because I use 2 different consoles. That's probably why. So here we go. So we've got the top 10. They have to start on the tyres that they qualified on. And you can see that my predictions was completely right, around about 11 to 12 laps. So we could see quite a few people going for the undercut. So the top 10 will be trying the soft to medium strategy. But we got Casey, Cesala, Daegu and John Papp going for the mediums, and maybe could be challenging for mediums to softs. Let's hope there's no crashes into Sandoval, please, in turn 1. We don't want that, please. As a famous Jeff saying on the F1 games, I've got to say. So the guys that have been looking the most consistent this season was Bobbert, apart from obviously Zandvoort, as well as Tom and Humperdinck. Will we see more people get consistent? Now I'm starting to see clouds are a bit darker than usual, so will we see a threat of rain? Now in PS4 it was raining, I think, for pretty much the whole race. I'm not entirely sure, and it might have got dry towards the end, but we could see the opposite around here in Xbox One F1. So here we go then, for 39 laps full of fun. The last race before the break week. No one can make any mistakes around this Monaco circuit, because qualifying proved to be really crucial for the drivers today. For the ones near the back, it's going to be really hard for these guys to overtake. And they're just going to rely on maybe even safety cars and other people to make mistakes. So the 5 red lights on your screens right now. There we go. That was a long wait for the lights there, but the lights are coming on anyway. 5 red lights. And we are underway here in Monaco. A decent start from King Kong as they all make through into 2. It's San and Devot couldn't quite make the move done into turn 1, and there's already been contact. A little bit of a pile up there between Humperdinck as well. A lot of people have avoided that. Luckily, it is ghosted for a majority of people, so they don't have to rely on that. And already we have got a safety car. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought that as Hawkers drops all the way down into 4th place? Now, I wonder who has got damage there. It's very interesting to see, because LGS, I think we're going to have a few safety car issues as well. We may see a few illegal overtakes as well. And we did see the host die. We got a few migrating host issues. Hopefully that doesn't cause any issues and any desyncs. But luckily I think the host has migrated, and hopefully Bobbits can join back in the session as soon as possible. I might need to invite him whilst it happens, but I will do that in a second. So, will some of these guys go into the pits? Now, LGS, Alfio and Bobbits were the only ones on those soft tyres that did not make those soft tyres last really well. So, a bit unfortunate there. Whereas everybody else did fine. So, Hawk goes into the pit lane. So does Humperdinck. So, they've got a change in front wing, or they just want to go on the hard tyres. Humperdinck's got front wing damage. And all the Mercedes garage is going to be held up. He's going to be even held up with more people going into the pits. It's going to be very, very costly for Amaze. And I don't think Amaze is going to be too impressed with his teammate. The team are not ready at all. He's going to drop down to... He is down in last place. What a shame for him. That is really, really sad. So, there we go. And we got a few people that just left the session. So, that is a bit of a shame. But I think a lot of people have had damage. I think the only people that not had damage was Tom, Callum, John Pap, KC and Cesala, but some of them may have opted to pit quite early on, but the hards only last 36 laps, so they will have to potentially go on sauce to the end. Now, if I was them, also going on lean fuel mixture would be the best option, as we are just waiting for the drivers to catch up with the safety car. Our race leader has already caught up with the safety car, so he's going to be one controlling the field away. And he is used to having restarts before, so it's not new to him. As you can see, the floodlights. Shame the race wasn't in the dark. That would have been quite interesting for the drivers. As John Pap goes into the pit, so he must have got damage in the second lap, where he was trying to race with minor damage, but it just did not work out for him, so he just opts to go in the pit. He and himself go onto the hard tyres. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people on the hard tyres. I think that is what I call a commentator's curse there, as John Pap, I think, just hit the wall again. The thing I'm worried about for these guys, are they going to have enough front wings left? Are they going to have enough tyres left? Daiger goes into the pits as well for a change of front wing again. So that's, I believe, is his second pit stop. I wonder when would be the option for some of these guys to just try and save their front wings and tyres, because they're not going to have enough tyres left. They're going to be on used tyres. Some of the tyres could be damaged as well. So I am a bit worried if that's the case, to be honest. So AMS Tom, I think the safety car is going to be in for one more lap, and then it's going to come in again. It's usually in for 3 laps. And don't forget, no DRS enabled until a few laps after the safety car. So, and there's only 1 DRS straight anyway around Monaco, as I need to get myself a drink, as my throat is getting a bit dry, so apologies about that, chat. Now, I'm going to look at the ones who have gained the most out of this safety car situation. So, if we have a look at the position changes. So, Tom has gained 2 off the start. So, he's had the best start out of everyone. King Continuous dropped down 1. And speaking of King continue, Callum has had a 5-second penalty with him. Surely those 5-second penalties, I think, would get removed, I think. But we will see. I'm thinking surely it would have got removed without a shadow of a doubt if they didn't have any effect on it. So we did see a Williams slow down. I wasn't sure which Williams it was. It wasn't Zizala. I don't know, actually. They are struggling to keep within a few car lengths. It's quite difficult. To be honest, I would have found it difficult as well. So at least we're not the only one. So yeah. But anyway. Let's hope we get the good starts. And I think the safety car's coming in this lap, which it is. And sometimes the safety car does not pop up the way we would have liked. So let's see then. Tom. He's going to cross the line. And he's going to get a really good restart. He's proper woken up there as well. Here we are going green flag racing. Callum G has also had a good start as well. And Hawk Casey's up into 4th place. He's gained the most out of this situation. 7 positions. John Papp, despite the face pitted quite a few times, he has gained 8. Cesala has gained 4. Kin continue, unfortunately, due to the safety car collision, has to go into the pit lane. And I think Hawk just hit the wall there. That's very sad for him. I think that's going to allow Casey to have a little bit more downforce and try and overtake. We're going on a yellow flag, getting towards the Mirabelle chicane. And I think that's a Williams car. Or a Haas. I'm not entirely sure. Nope, it's a Haas. And that was Daegu, I think. Does he have damage? I don't know. Because I'm on board with a really weird camera shot, I've got to say. And yellow flag set to 2. And as I was speaking about Casey's out the race. So another commentator's curse. And I think Casey is never going to let me live that down. So Casey was running 4th place and now he's in last due to his retirement. And we got a VSC. Not good for those on the hards because, again, it's going to take a while for these guys to warm up and less chance for the DRS people as well. So Tom is going to be happy about that because Callum is going to try not to go for a move then. So that's going to be interesting. Hawk's around about 5.5 seconds behind these lot as well. So it's a little bit of a gap, whereas Callum's about 1.0. So that is the sheer effect of no DRS and obviously the VSC. That's why Callum is so far behind at the moment. And the VSC has been going on for so long. It's been going on for a bit longer than I thought it was going to happen. So as we are going green flag racing, and do we see the DRS enable screen yet? No, I think it's going to be a lapse time. Another yellow flag in the same corner. So that's the same corner that quite a lot of people are getting caught out here today. John Papp, I think, is one of those drivers. Oh, that's not good. That is not good at all. And I did see someone else get a front wing damage. Oh, Sidala's front wing looks badly damaged. I think, to be honest, it's going to be a race full of attrition tonight for these guys. And DRS has been enabled. I think the one that's going to benefit the most is Humperdinck, who's about a few tenths behind Hawk. I don't think anyone else is at the moment because they're not in DRS range. Maybe Amaze, though, as we could see the first overtake of the race. Oh, what just happened there? Amaze almost forced Jonah off the circuit, it looked like on my screen, but it may have looked different on theirs, but I'm not entirely sure what has happened there. That looked a bit scary, I've got to say. I mean, and I think Amaze has lost a bit of his front wing as well. So these guys are just struggling a little bit more than I thought they were going to do. And I think it's going to cost the teams millions and millions of pounds to repair their wings for the next race. Luckily, they've got a week's break anyway, so that's something less to worry about, of course. And I think Tom is just going to concentrate on making sure he keeps it clean right now, as we've got a few time penalties. So May somehow has managed to cut the corner. I think it might have been after the tunnel, as Tom sets the fastest lap of the race so far. And the question is, though, is he going to keep it that way after a few laps? Only time will tell, because there's a lot of people that are potentially going to be faster. As Hall keeps joining the session and his AI is pitted, I don't think he'll be too impressed with that. Humperdinck in third now. And I'm going to get the tyres up, because I know a few of you guys are interested on what tyres they're on. I think it's going to be a crossover point at some point where the softs are not going to be at its finest. So this is where we'll start to see Humperdinck really come through and start to shine, really. And that'll be fantastic, I've got to say, for the Mercedes driver. Keeping it, apart from the damage in lap 1, he's been keeping it clean so far. So he's been concentrating mainly about the future and not about what happened in the past, because you don't want to have a negative mindset for the rest of the race, because that's definitely not going to help you. As we've got no deltas on my screen at the moment, so it's possible to tell. Jonah in 4th place. I do love Jonah's helmet, by the way. As we're seeing most of the field spread out, our championship leader, Bobberts, I think, lost it a little bit there. I didn't quite see what happened between these two, because I literally just caught the back of it. Amazed, it might not be them, it may be someone else, but Amazed in the pits. So has Amazed got damage? It looked like he did. Yeah, he did get damage. Oh yeah, I remember, I saw him got damage earlier on, about a lap ago. So, and Cesala has retired from the session, so we're down to 13 drivers now. And for these guys now, the ones that are still in the race, it's very important to not give up, because if you do give up, a chance of points is pretty much over. And Monaco is a really great opportunity to gain some points. And what is the gap now between Tom and Callum? I think it's around about 6 or 8 seconds. So we'll see when Callum comes across the line. And the delta still doesn't pop up. Yes, it does 8 seconds. I was getting there. I don't know how I did that, but I did. As Alfio has just got past, well, Hawk has just got past Alfio. And a little bit of echo in the AlphaTauri. I thought it would have still been in the tunnel, but obviously not. But we shall see, of course. So on lap 10 now. So 1/3 of the way pretty much done. And for the chance for the soft runners to maybe think about going on in the pits. Tom and Cam, the only ones that are gonna benefit from the soft to medium strategy. Everybody else has got to think a bit further. As we've got, I think, Tom increasing the gap by a few seconds per lap, I think. As the pit lane is open for him. So Tom, well, the pit window is open for Tom. I think it's going to be the same for Callum. There's only one way to find out, but Humperdinck has caught up to him. So I did say the soft will run out of life pretty soon. And Humperdinck is sheer proof of that Callum is just like struggling and hawks out the race, which is a bit of a shame. And I do believe he has retired from the pit lane, and we got another safety car. That is going to be a saving grace for Tom and Callum, because they are going to be getting a free pit stop. And at the moment, they have got a comfortable gap. So they are going to be absolutely relieved. Humperdinck could be relieved as well. Some people may opt to go on the hard tyres until the end. The ones that are not on the hards already. Maybe John Papp could do the same. Only one way to find out, as John Papp goes on use mediums by the looks of things. Condega goes on use mediums, and so does Alfio as well. I think it just goes to show they don't have enough tyres left. So there we go. So Tom, does he go into the pits? Yes, he does. Callum, he's got to respond. If he does not pit, he's going to be at a huge disadvantage when he comes out of the safety car restart. So there he goes into the pit lane. So Tom comes out and the safety car is going to wait for Humperdinck this time. And he stays out as well. Don't forget Humperdinck still needs to pit due to the fact that he pitted on lap 1. And there's no way those hards are going to make it to... Actually, it could do due to the safety car. You never know. Anything can happen in Formula 1. We'll have to wait and see. We'll see if Humperdinck could be on course to take his first win in AOR Tier 1 for quite a long time, actually. Can continue back in contention for a podium despite the damages he has had. And I wonder how many stops people have had at the moment. There's quite a few. So, we've had Condega that's made 4 stops. Alfio's made 3 stops. John Papa's made 3 stops. Then we had Amazer's made 2 stops. Bobbert's made 2 stops. Jonah's made 2 stops. LGS has made 2 stops. King Cons has made 2 stops. And the ones that made 1 stop are Callum G, Tom, and Humperdinck. And Callum as well. Actually, I did say Callum. I was just not paying attention properly. So I think due to the fact the majority of the people are caught up, apart from the last 3, the safety car could come in very quickly. And I thought I saw a rain, so I thought I saw a bit of spray there, but again, it was just my imagination. Welcome to those of you that just joined the stream. Hopefully everybody is having a good time so far, as we're about to get underway very, very soon. And we're still pretty much not even halfway yet, so it's still quite a lot of time for people to make mistakes. It's not over. And there's no point me making predictions, because potentially they're going to be wrong, as John Papp has got a 3-second time penalty. I am going to be checking on time penalties towards the end of this race. There's no point me checking it now, because you never know, it just might change. It might change, and we'll have to find out. So let's see how these drivers cope with the safety car restart. Can Tom have the restart of dreams like he did last time? Can Humperdinck do the same to what Tom did? Because at this time, Humperdinck's in the lead, and safety car is in this lap, and this time it does pop up on my screen, or I can see it at least. So that is good news, so I'm not deceiving it. So that is really good. So we are about to get racing here today, here in Monaco once again. The second restart. Humperdinck has got to think about when to floor it, because Tom really wants to go racing, and so does King Con as well. Humperdinck has left it very, very late. That's going to leave a chance for Tom and King continue to capitalise. King Con trying to make the move into turn 1, but unfortunately could not quite do it. Trying to go for the lunge on the inside and trying to take some very risky moves. I did say at the introduction, quite a few people should take risks in order to try and gain position, but there is a worry that they could get damage from it. But so far, everyone's saying in a different position. King can't pit again, and that is his 5th stop. And that is a record here at AOR tonight. I wonder if we'll see another one from him. Hopefully not. Hopefully he can keep going, of course. Tom now 4 tenths behind Humperdinck. Could he get the lunge into the after the tunnel? Nope, he does not. So it's going to be a bit of a procession then until the start finish straight bar, looks like. Hopefully these guys don't bounce on the walls, because that's where they can get damage. LGS doing very well, benefiting from the safety car and people having issues. LGS up into 4th place. Don't forget, LGS won the first race of the season, and that was in Australia. Can he get onto the podium? It is still looking possible for the McLaren driver. LGS has got to keep being more consistent to do well in the constructors. Roberts goes in pits again, so I'm not sure if it's for damage or if it's just for him to go on the mediums. I don't even know, but only one way to find out. So the DRS will open in a few laps time, but for now it's a chance for people to go for the risks for the right reasons when they know they can. John Pat gets a 5-second penalty for crossing the pit lane exit line. Tom not getting the move. Can King Kong? No. So we are going to see a DRS train pretty soon, because in a few laps time that is where we'll see the DRS open again and more people will start to benefit from it. Quite a few people have not caught up to the safety car though, so that's going to be, I think, a huge issue for them. And we're seeing a lot of people going side by side. Look at this. AMS and King Con. Con is going for the risk. Goes to the right-hand side. Tom defends to the left. But King Con says no can do. But Tom defends for his life. And it pays off for AMS Tom. And he takes 2nd place. And LGS is thinking, hang on, I could be winning a shot of this. As John Papp is out of the session. And once again, we have got another safety car. And I know a few of these drivers, I think quite a lot of these drivers are going to get slightly bored of this safety car. I think, to be honest, I'm getting slightly bored of this safety car. I just want to have some racing, for goodness sake. But I wonder who caused that safety car though. I think it was John Papp who retired, which is a bit unfortunate. Which means everybody that's still in this race will still get some points. So an excuse to not give up now, and a chance for someone to get a point for the fastest lap. Because one extra point could make all the difference to winning and losing the championship, and not everybody is pit. I don't think anyone's going to pit, because there's no way. So I think the safety car is going to come in very, very quickly, unless it's going to pick up debris. Roberts, I think is lapped or something. I'm not entirely sure. As Dager is in that little train as well. So as soon as those two have caught up, that's when we could go racing again. Now, I was expecting safety cars around here, but not this amount. We've had three safety cars, one VSC. So if we get one more VSC or one more safety car after this one, then that's it. And that'll be a relief, because I think the maximum you can have is 5 safety cars on a 50% race and 6 and 7 on a 100% race, because otherwise the race would last forever. And yes. And sometimes the safety car can get quite boring for the drivers, as again they want to get some racing done. Monaco's been on the calendar for quite some time now and has seen some great spectacles in the past. Maybe this race could be in the history books very, very soon. But only one way to find out, of course. Will we see it go in the history books? as it is a street circuit, and obviously this is used in real life for cars, and when it's closed out to the public for these tracks, the barriers do get put on, of course. And I was watching a video of what it's like without the circuit, and it's completely different. And if you want to check it out, I am gonna be checking it after the race, because yeah, I mean, it is a huge spectacle. It really is. I mean, it's just spectacular, to be honest. So, and is a safety car gonna come in this lap? Only, I think it might do, because everyone's caught up. And don't forget, I think there was one time I was actually racing in Abu Dhabi when the new safety car patch came in, and there was literally safety car after safety car after safety car. So I know how these guys feel, and I think the safety car has come in. So what I was expecting. So here we go then. Humperdinck has got to get a good restart this time, otherwise Tom and King Continue is gonna pressure him once again. So let's go racing then here in Monaco once more. But Humperdinck's got a better restart this time. Around 6 tenths at clear of Tom now, which could really help him. And I think it's the same gap between Tom and Continue. Let's see how everybody else does as they make it just past Sainte Devote into turn 1, 2 and 3. Everybody's making it cleanly so far. No damage, but these three are getting ever so close. Can Alfio take the risk? No, he does not. Amazed. Close the door. Amazed. Looks up a little bit, but that's not going to cost him any time at all. Or will it though? We'll have to wait and see. Roberts and Dagu in this train as well. We may see the trains start to break up just a little bit. But you never know around this circuit. And the track is brightening up as well. So the track temperatures are going to be slightly hotter. And the beauty of the safety cars though is as follows. They're not using as much ERS. They're not using as much ERS, to be honest. So that means they're going to be pushing ever so hard. But the danger is if they push ever so hard, they're going to have less ERS to use on the final few laps. Because Humperdinck and Tom, they're going to hope they don't make any mistakes, because these two would want to get those tyres to the end. Tom managing his ERS to perfection. So is Humperdinck as well. What about King Continue? He's on 62%, so he's doing very well as well. So there's places where he could defend. LGS on 86. Jonah on 70%. Callum on 70% as well. Amazed on 59. And Alfio and Bob are trying to make a move, and they make contact a little bit. It might have been a love tap. We don't know. I'm not sure there was damage that was caused on there. I don't have a clue, but Bobbitt's in 9th place at the moment. Has overtaken by Alfio. Luckily, I don't think there was damage, and if there was, there might have just been minor damage, as, yeah, it is minor damage, so DRS has been enabled then, so chance for these guys at the front to really catch up from 1st to 6th, and from 7th to 10th, really. Those are the two DRS trains that we're seeing at this moment in time. And Tom just can't seem to get past Humperdinck at the moment. Humperdinck must be loving him being at the front at the moment, but again, he's probably getting bored of those safety cars. And these guys are probably thinking, please, no more safety cars. And I'm probably thinking exactly the same thing. As they all make it through the tunnel now, Tom has got to seize this chance. He's got to go for the risk, but again, he's a little bit too further back. I think he's got to be a few tenths behind, I think, just to get the move done, really. And now Alfio's just got a 3-second time penalty as well. And to be honest, around here, whoever keeps it clean without any damage, I think should give themselves an award. I think Tom's the only one that hasn't got any damage today. So fair play to Tom. And obviously Callum as well. But Callum hasn't really capitalised on anything. He's down in 6th at the moment as Boberts goes into the pit. So I think the damage that he had earlier on, or he might have got more damage, has probably not helped him in the slightest. So any one of these guys now can go on the mediums and make sure they get to the end of this Grand Prix. But the question is, do they have enough mediums to last for the whole race? That is my question. I doubt that is going to happen. But you never know with AOR. You never know with Formula 1. You know, I mean, it can happen sometimes. But anyway. The gap now. 2 tenths behind Humperdinck. Can he get the move into Raskas? No, he can't. A made 3-second time penalty. So we could see, due to the fact that these guys are so close, maybe we could see a few people dropping positions. Humperdinck getting the better straight line spin to turn 1. That's not helped Tom one bit. He was like, no. You can probably see Tom has gained, I think, more speed on the corners. And Humperdinck has gained more speed on the straight. You can see as they go into the tunnel really soon. Oh! Did Humperdinck hit... No, did Tom hit Humperdinck? Or it might have just been a little slide tap, I don't know. Hopefully no issues there. Hopefully no issues. So I don't want Tom to go into the pits because he's running a clean race so far. But I think he's alright. I think Humperdinck's alright as well. But you just can't afford to have any mistakes like that if you do that. But it just may look different on the spectator. It looked like someone hit each other, but it may not have been. Humperdinck's got a 3-second penalty. I don't think Tom has got a penalty, so he is probably going to use this as motivation. I don't think he knows that Humperdinck's got a penalty. Don't forget, Humperdinck has got to pit again. So I think Tom should not be pushing too much. And don't forget, King Kont, LGS, Jonah still have to pit. Now, no, I still have to pit. I'm still catching, I mean. What are you on about? But there's a few people that will have to pit soon. So let me get the tyres up. 29 laps of mediums. So maybe King Kong, LGS are a bit worried. Alfio too. Everybody else, I think, apart from Humperdinck and LGS and King Kong, should make it to the end and don't have to pit again. Amaze has dropped back from this train, but I don't think he's worried. And neither is Condegu either, by the sound of things as well. As King Kont has got a time penalty. As I think Alfio was struggling there. I was amazed. So let's see. Actually, no, he's not. He's going to go for the lunge in the tunnel. One of the first overtakes I can see probably on stream. And there he goes. Brilliant stuff from Alfio. And he goes up into 8th place. King Kong goes into the pit. And is he pitting for damage? Yes, he is. Where did he get damage, though? I did not see where he got damage. But that's not going to help him one bit. As King Continue comes out on a fresh set of mediums. Luckily, he has a fresh set of mediums. So, jobs are good one for him as Amaze has just got past him. Hopefully, King Kont won't cut the pit lane exit line, which he doesn't. That is a thing that sometimes I get caught on as well, is the safety car line. And I've got quite a few penalties around Monaco due to that, and that did cost my first point in league racing around here, which was a bit sad, but there we go. So, Amazing now. A little bit of a swerve there as King Kong goes past him. Not much happening on circuit at the moment, but what I'm finding with these guys is, oh, that's close from Tom. That for these guys, they're just finding it's just so hard to overtake at the moment, like I said. And the only place you can overtake is pretty much into turn 1 and in the tunnel. That's pretty much it. I don't think you could try for a move. Maybe the Mirabo should... Let her I need to try and get my words out. Maybe the Mirabo chicane. I don't know. But here we go. Tom almost made a lunge there. Tom wants to get that lead, but he needs to ask Jeff for the penalties. Because LGS is catching up like no tomorrow. So that's going to be a huge worry as well. But will LGS's tyres make it to the end? That's going to be the factor. But due to those safety cars, I think LGS, I think, is going to be a little bit of a lucky puppy, I think, at the moment. As do some of these guys, actually. And we shall see then. LGS, a few seconds, well, a few tenths behind these guys. So LGS is going to be sitting pretty right now between these two. As well as Jonah as well. Jonah could be on for some good points as well. But I know Jonah has got penalties. That is the crucial factor, I think. Jonah has got penalties. And I think some people behind him and in front of him don't, apart from Humperdinck, who's got penalties. King Kont just got past Alfio, and King Kont has just set the fastest lap. He is looking for the fastest lap of this race, amazed being the only one of these guys to go on the softs. And I think there's not many softs left for some of these guys, but Amaze was very lucky that he did have some softs left. I wonder how many drivers have softs left, because for everybody now, they can go on the softs to the end now. So if these guys would have to pit again, then that's probably why. So we'll find out, of course, as we head through the final 12 or 13 laps of this race. Who's going to win? Will we see any wet-affected happenings soon, or will this weather stay like this for the entire Grand Prix? And for what I'm thinking, I think it's going to be going on for pretty much all of it. Like, no rain, that's what I was trying to say. And we can see the trees blowing just a little bit as well. So, quite interesting there. So how is everybody coping with these laps? Who do you think is going to be winning this race so far? A train separated between first and fifth place at the moment. And it's going to come down to who has the less penalties, who can hold their nerve, and who can have less damage. Humperdinck may be just about get away with not pitting again. So Humperdinck may probably be staying out too. We don't know about these strategies. As Tom goes for the late lunge. Tom goes for the late lunge into turn 1, and he does it with ease. Those mediums have worked wonders for the Racing Point driver, and that's what helped him take the race lead. Absolutely excellent job from him, and Tom is going to hope he gets his first victory of AOR. He just missed out on a victory when he got pole in Australia, but he could get the race win today. I'm not going to say anything more because I'm worried I could jinx him. So, yeah, there is a danger that I could jinx him. So, but yeah, he's around 7 tenths behind Humperdinck now. So, he might have got held up, which is why that he wasn't that fast enough at the moment. But he's got to worry about his ERS. It's coming down like a hawk right now. Not the horse that is out of the race, of course. I'm just trying to put it out there. So we're gone 10 laps to go now once we cross the line. Is Alfio and Daegu going for a move? Alfio with the move on Daegu, and he's up into 7th. So we are starting to see more moves being made in this Grand Prix. This is more like it, guys. A lot more people are taking more risks at the final few stages. We are at the final third now. Game on for these guys. This can make a difference to their championship hopes, of course. I think next on Humperdinck's radar for him to worry about is LGS. LGS is 7 tenths. Then we got Jonah, who is 4 tenths behind, but Jonah's got penalties. And next we got Callum G. These top 5 are going to be fighting for the podium. And they want it so badly, so they're going to be pushing every fibre of their being at the moment. So this is going to be very, very intriguing, to say the least, to see what happens. And I just don't know who is going to win this race. It's just too impossible to call right now. But Humperdinck is definitely dropping. He is definitely dropping due to the tyre life. The crossover point may have hit for those hard tyres because he was pushing quite a lot around here. As we've got yellow flag set to 1. Who's that? That, I don't know what that was. That was probably just someone moving out of the way, maybe. Has someone been lapped already? Let me have a look. No one's been lapped, so I don't get what has just happened. It probably is just people moving out of the way, or someone just spinning it just a little bit and then just popping on the screen just for a slight moment. But we will see, of course. That 32, Tom, I think is going to hope that... I don't think Tom got that penalty, so I'm just going to check penalties at the moment. So, we can see how many stops people made. Daegu, 6 stops and still P8. That's commitment. So, Tom's got the 5 second... Oh, Tom had a stop go. Oh, this could affect it massively, so he's trying to get that gap. Humperdinck has got a 5 second one as well. And he's got another 3 second on top of that. So that's 8 seconds. LGS has got only 2 warnings. So LGS could be winning this race. Jonah has... I thought he's got a penalty. But he didn't. So it must have been me imagining things. King Continue has... I thought King Con had a penalty. But I think it might have been 1. I'm not sure. Callum has got a 5 second stop go as well. But I believe he served it. And he's got a few warnings as well. Alfio has got 1, 2 penalties and 2 warnings. Daegu has got 5 second time penalty plus a penalty. So that's 8 seconds. And Bobbert is... I think Bobbert is the only one to be completely penalty or warning free. And the Mace has got 1, 2, 3 penalties. And I think he served that 5 second stop go in the pits. But I believe for some of them, some of the stop-go penalties could be removed. So it could affect their race quite a bit, actually. As Callum G goes into the pits. So I'm not sure if we got damage or he just wants to go for fastest lap. I think he wants to go for fastest lap. Get that extra point, nothing to lose, you know. But that's going to demote him all the way down into 8th place. Which is a shame, but what more can you do for him? But he's still catching up to this guy of Daegu and Alfio, so anything is possible. Don't forget, we will have a week break next week. No AOR next week. But after that, at the beginning of November, we will be at Baku for round 8. Time does fly by when you're having fun, I've got to say. Callum G almost going for another risk there. I can see these guys probably going to take too many risks. Let's hope that these guys don't make it 3 wide, because that will be a disaster. But I think Callum gets the move done anyway. Unfortunately, the camera didn't get the best of shots, I've got to say. But there we go. Unfortunate, but there we go. As we can see, Callum trying to go for the move once again. And wow, who said you can't overtake there? That's absolutely fantastic. I'm trying to see what corner it was. Let me just have a look. That was turn 4, the casino? Just past casino? And Alfio was trying to make a move as well. Yeah, a lot of people definitely taking a lot more risk, which is great to see. This is what we like to see in league races. You know, this is absolutely brilliant. I mean, I'm loving this so far. Daegu is... Oh, what has happened there? A few issues there, which I don't know quite what has happened there, but... Yeah, that was a bit of a shame, of course. As I think a few people are going to be hoping that they should have pushed earlier on and tried to get the gap that they've could have possibly needed. But you never know with these types of scenarios how this would have paid off for the drivers. And we're starting to see more questionable moves as well, as LGS, I think, got the move, didn't he? No, Jonah almost tried to defend from King Continue, but King Continue gets the move in the swimming pool. The King can't. Is up into 4th place, but for how much longer due to penalties? LGS, I think Amaze has been lapped, I think. Yep, he is, because he is ghosted. And I think he's the only one to be lapped. Everybody else is on the leading lap at this stage. Humperdinck on 34 laps. Used hard tyres. That is just absolutely incredible, I've got to say. But yeah, absolutely incredible. As we got a yellow flag in sector 1, that is Callum. Callum was running so well, and he just got... It's hard to see where he is, and he's just retired from the session there and then. That's going to cause a safety car for him retiring on track. Retiring on track is a big, fat no-no. You're just not meant to retire on the track like that. But there we go. So, Amazed is in the pits, and that's going to benefit him due to the yellow flag by him, which is asking a few people to slow down. So Amazed is going to go for the fastest lap. Why not? Get an extra point. Nothing to lose. Callum was going to go for that extra point. And I think there's no more safety cars, so it is every man for themselves right now. As Amazed has got a 3-second time penalty. That's not going to affect him at the moment because he's in 9th place. Amazed, the only driver on the soft tyres right now. As Callum G has left the session, he is not happy whatsoever with that. I mean, that is just an absolute unfortunate thing that he has done. That's just really, really sad. But there we go. That's what happens in league racing, of course. As we're heading towards the penultimate lap of the race pretty soon. We are on the penultimate lap, so what are you talking about? Tom is looking on course to win his first one of his first races in AOR Tier 1, and that would be a fantastic achievement for the Racing Point driver. He gets his point on the map and close up to the top two of Humperdinck and Bobberts. Bobberts in 8th position. So Tom is going to get a huge run on his rivals if he can keep it up for the last 2 minutes or so. That's all he needs to do. No more mistakes for him, and he should be absolutely fine and keep things. He should keep things under control, that's for sure. So we are on the final lap of this race. Let's see what he can do. But meanwhile, let's look at the battle for the podium. And sorry, I was not meant to do that. There we go. I'll get the delta up on the screen. There we go. As King Kont is chasing down Humperdinck for second now. LGS is chasing down as well. Potentially as well due to penalties. Jonah is chasing down LGS. I think that's the only battles that we are seeing at this moment in time, as we got a yellow flag in sector 1, and that is... No, that's not Humperdinck, that's Amaze. And Amaze doing donuts. Why is he doing donuts? Oh, there's still people running on the track. I think he may get told off with that one. He thought the race is finished, but no. But anyway, Tom has driven absolutely fantastic here today. He has been unstoppable. The only driver to make the one stop work. The only driver to have only pitted once, I believe, apart from Humperdinck. Tom wins in Monaco. Humperdinck gets a fantastic second place after being on those tyres for 37 laps, but he cannot stay there due to penalties. King can't get second. No, LGS gets second. So LGS gets second, keeping it clean. Well done there. King Kont third, Jonah fourth. Humperdinck has dropped down to 5th. And we're still waiting for the final few drivers to make their way through that. So Contague comes across the line to take a fantastic P6. Alfio comes across the line in P7. And then we got Bobberts in P8. Bobberts P2? What? Bobberts P2? Wait a minute. So he got less penalties than everybody else. Everybody else must have got a lot of penalties. And we're just waiting for Amaze. Amaze either go or retire, because otherwise that's going to last for quite a long time. Just Amaze, just stop spinning, please. Because otherwise that's going to be a little bit of an issue there. I think he's been told to and I think he may have got a puncture as well. But he has got damage to his front wing. But anyway, let's go on board with our race winner. He deserves his moment of glory. Technically, he's won 1/3 of the Triple Crown already. I wonder if he races in any other racing games. Can he do the more or Indy? You never know. You never know. As we've got a yellow flag in set 3, and I was probably amazed doing more donuts. But there we go. As we have just finished in Monaco. A bit of a quiet race, but sometimes you do get quiet races at times. And David got driver of the day according to the game. Who has been your driver of the day? As hopefully the standings load up, please. That would be very, very handy. And Tom is going to have an advantage in the championship, trying closing up to Roberts. Both McLarens, P2 and P3. I would like to see how Roberts got P2 after that. Was that a spectator glitch? I don't know. I don't have a clue, to be honest. So let me have a look. Let's find out. So penalties. So Roberts doesn't have any. May's got 18. That's probably why then. But again, that still still doesn't understand why Roberts was second. But anyway, so Tom is first from Roberts, from LGS, from King Kong, from Jonah, from Humperdinck, from Comte from Alfio, from Amazed. And that was your finishes. And Amazed with a 1:11 flat gets fast lap. So he gets 3 points. So, and your retirements are Callum G, John Pap, Hawk, Cesala, and Casey. And Casey, I put the worst commentator's curse in, and I do apologise about that. I just felt so bad for you for that. So we got a week's break next week. So don't you bother going onto the AOR channel next week, because there's no AOR next week. But I'm sure you will join us same time in 2 weeks' time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. I almost call it Baku Grand Prix, but I don't want to call it that. It's the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Another race of attrition. Hopefully no one will break too many front wings in a few weeks' time, because we want to see some racing, but we probably will have a few more opportunities to overtake potentially next week. But anyway, I've been JessGames95. Hope you had a good evening, everybody, and we will see you same time in 2 weeks' time, 8 PM for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Have a good evening, everybody. Good night.